It's Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by the man of the moment, or one of the men of the moment. The other one's in Russia. Greaves, trainer, of course, of David Avanesyan, who got, I'm not going to say a career best win because he's fought at a higher level, but certainly an eye-catching and attention-grabbing win over Josh Kelly at the weekend. How are you feeling 2 days on?
Yeah, I'm over the moon, Danny. Obviously, me and Neil, the old team. It's what we predicted, though, isn't it? We said all along what was going to happen. But yeah, I'm delighted. I mean, more happy for David than anybody else. I mean, he deserves this so much. The man works so hard, leaves all his family in Russia, comes over here for 8 weeks, and it can't be easy for him. And yeah, I'm delighted for David.
Does it surprise you in hindsight that they were willing, at least on the surface, to take the Avanesyan fight 2 years ago when I think Josh had 8 or 9 pro fights?
I think they thought David was finished. I mean, after the Kowalski's defeat, they looked at that and fancied the job big time. I don't know. They might have got it right that night. I don't think they would have done myself because look at the run David went on in 2019 after Kowalski's. I mean, going over to Bilbao in front of 12,000 hostile fans to dethrone the king, Kerman Lujaraga. You know what I mean? It was 27-0. What a win that was. So he might have getting more of an iron in 2018. We'll never know. It's gone now. But I'm just really glad we managed to get the fight finally on. We thought it was gone. We persevered. There was dates here and there, and Neil got on to Eddie, but saying, look, let's get this fight on because we were so confident and we really dug deep to get the fight on. We wanted to be the first man to put the defeat on Josh's record.
What's been the key to David's change in form? Because, like you said, people, Josh's team, you felt he was finished after Kowalski's. What has changed? Because he has had that amazing run that's just culminated in Saturday night.
I think his mindset. He's got children now. He's become a man. Just everything. The way he's approaching things. Is listening more. Is doing things a little bit different. He's built into a solid welterweight now. I think back then he was too small. He was giving so much weight away against the likes of Kowalski's and Peterson. He was getting in the ring at like 10 stone, 12, 11 stone max. Them guys at elite level were 12 stone. I mean, listen, Josh would have been over 12 stone the other night, but David's built into a solid welter now. He goes in the ring about 11 stone 8, which is a very good weight for David. So I think that's played a big part as well. And I think it hurt him badly, the Kowalski's defeat. Like I've said before, he went away. He was disappointed with himself. He didn't perform. It was a massive stage. He could have had Terence Crawford if he'd have beat him for mega money. And it all went wrong. So he had to rebuild. He went away. Everybody was writing him off. A lot of people thought he was crazy taking the Kerman fight, but listen, he proved everybody wrong, just like he did again the other night.
And when the fight began, obviously Josh started quite sharply the first 2-3 rounds before David really started to make an imprint. Was there any time where you were concerned about the fast start Josh had, or was it all what you'd predicted?
Yeah, exactly what I predicted. I knew what he was going to do. I knew he'd make David look bad at times with his elusiveness, making David miss. But the key for me and the main thing for me was making Josh work very, very hard. Make him work out of his comfort zone. David was on him all the time. Even though he was losing the round, he was making him work very, very hard. And as you heard me in the corner, the key was not to let Josh breathe, do his work, and then get on his bike and have a rest. You couldn't let him do that. So I made David be on him and press him constantly, even when he was behind and not winning. He still made him work very hard to win them rounds. And it took a lot out of Josh to keep David off. And then finally we got the breakthrough. I mean, the key was working the body. And I think Josh's tactics, when he tried to smother David and get close and manhandle him a bit, it was working. He wasn't working. So he was struggling at distance by this time, and then he was struggling in close because David was hitting him with some lovely little push-through body shots and little short hooks and uppercuts. And that's where it actually happened, when he was close to David.
And was there a point in the fight where David came back to the corner and gave you the indication he felt Josh was ready to go?
Yeah, I could see it. I mean, I know David very, very well. I know him. I've seen him. I mean, I know how he works, and he's got that. When he sees the finish, as you've seen, is a fantastic finish. You look what he did to Kerman. Look how he finished Josh. When he smells blood, his lights out. I'm telling you, because he's really good. He's a predator. When he finishes you, he's fantastic.
Do you take some satisfaction on a personal level as a trainer as well, in that you've gone up against Adam Booth, who's widely respected as a trainer? He's took many fighters to world titles, and strategically, you've won that.
Yeah, listen, everybody's saying that, but the bottom line is the fighter makes the trainer. I've been privileged enough to have a great fighter in David. All throughout Adam's career as a trainer, he's always had very, very good fighters, which made his job a lot easier. I've had it the hard way. I've never been given any elite fighters. David's the best fighter I've ever had to work with. And look, my results speak for themselves. You know what I mean? We've done everything together. He's been a WBA interim champion, WBA regular champion, European champion. His only 2 defeats in 9 with me have been at top level against Peterson and Kowalowski. So, yeah, I mean, listen, it's great that people's acknowledging my achievements as a trainer now. But I've always known deep down what I can do as a trainer. But I've never really been given the chance. You're only as good as the tools you've got to work with. You've got to know what you're doing. You've got to know what to do at the right time, say the right things in the corner. But no, I mean, listen, it's been great for me having David, and it's brought the best out of me as well, should I say.
Good stuff. Now, we'll talk about David's future in a moment, but I just want to take a couple of minutes to talk about Josh and his future. He's still only 26 years old. That kind of explosive, fast twitch style that a lot of people associate with Adam Booth, it seems, and a lot of people have said this since the fight, quite difficult to pull off if you don't have that knockout power behind it. Where do you see his future going? And with his age as well, can he still come again?
I don't think he can, Danny. I really don't. It's a shame because he's got everything, but he just can't seem to cut it in the trenches. I mean, was it too early for him? Possibly. But if he was as good as what everybody was saying and was good as what if Adam's a tactician. Adam knows when to bring a fighter through at the right time. He must have believed that Josh could win that fight. Or was he forced into taking it after the pullouts? I don't know.
Oh, you muted yourself. That's it.
Hello?
Yeah, carry on. Can hear you now. Oh, no, you mute yourself again.
Hello?
Yeah, I got you.
I don't know why it does that. But
just mute.
Yeah, so looking back now, I mean, they've got it all wrong, haven't they? I mean, they must, like I said, was they very, very confident of beating David, or was they forced into taking the fight? I don't know. They took the fight and it's backfired. But Josh is 26. I think he should move up to 154. But the trouble is at 154, he hasn't got the power. But he's too big for welterweight. It must be hard for him to make welterweight. I mean, David got in the ring a stone heavier than what he did the day before, and Josh looked way, way bigger than David. So imagine what Josh must have weighed. It's a tough one, really. I do feel for Josh because he's a lovely kid. You know what I mean? I know there's been a lot of bad blood and a lot of animosity, but I do like the kid. He's a big-hearted lad. You know what I mean? And it was a tough night for him. People saying, was it his heart? You can't question his heart because he dug deep. He just had no answer. And like I said, David's a predator. And when he sees the finish, he takes it. And that's what happened. I mean, the left hook that finished it buckled, hit him right on top of the head, buckled his leg. A couple more went and Adam threw the towel in. But it's a tricky one. Will he come back better? Does he need boxing? He's got a few quid. He's a good-looking kid. He can do modelling and all that, what he's been doing. He's got a family now. I don't know. We'll see what character is. These defeats can make or break you. And let's see what he wants to do. He might go away. Might think, you know what? I just don't think I'm going to do it at the top level. That's me done. You know what I mean? Or he might think, you know what, I'm going to prove people wrong and come back stronger. We'll see. We'll see. But it's a tough one because, I mean, he's too big for welterweight for sure. He might be losing power down at welterweight. He might go up to 154 and be a bigger puncher. He might have more resistance. It's a hard one, isn't it? I mean, that £7 can make a lot of difference. But I know one thing now, David's a proper welterweight. We used to worry about him because he was giving a lot of size away, and there was talk about bringing him down to 140. But I'm really pleased we've kept him at 147. He's filled into a solid welterweight now.
And talking of David, you said after the fight, you know, Eddie Hearn, he's now signed with Matchroom, of course. You want a world title shot or Amir Khan? Why Amir Khan?
I've not mentioned Amir, but I've heard Neil has. And listen, what a great fight for the British public that'll be. But I don't know. I think it'll be a similar fight to Josh Kelly with Amir Khan. I really do. I think he'll look fantastic. He's sharp. He's fast. But once David gets a hold of you and a grip of you and closes that gap, you can't keep him off. He's like a bull. You're hitting. He's got a great defence as well. I know he got caught with a good left hook in the second round, but a lot of Josh's shots was hitting David's gloves. And I said that everything I've said in my interviews, I said it'd be like hitting a brick wall. He'll walk through you, and he does. You know what I mean? He's got a good defence, David. I mean, obviously when he's throwing punches, he's more open. But when you're leading off on him, he takes a lot on his arms and gloves. And I think that's what will happen with Amir Khan. I think he'll break Amir Khan's heart. I mean, he's fast in Amir Khan. He's got good movement in that. But I don't know. It's a good fight. But do we need Amir Khan? Does he need us? I don't know. I mean, there's better fights out there now. He's number 5 across the board now, David is, across all the top governing bodies. You mean somebody like a Sean Porter and Adrian Broner and an eliminator for a world title, and then a big world title fight, or even straight for a world title. He's 32 now, but he's like fine wine into David. He's getting better with age. He's on a right roll, 4 stoppages now. You know what I mean? It's unbelievable what he's going through.
I can see why you'd quite fancy the Adrian Broner fight after his and David's respective performances at the weekend. But what about Porter or even Ugas, who's got a belt now?
Yeah, Ugas is a good fighter, isn't he? I mean, they're good fights for David, honestly. I mean, I'll put David in with anybody. He's good enough to beat any of them. He's got this newfound self-belief, David. Like we spoke before, he's a changed man since Kowalski's defeat. And the way he's boxing at the moment and the way he's looking in the gym is phenomenal. And it's brilliant for me having such a good fighter because it makes my job a lot easier. And he listens and he's still willing to learn even how good he is. He still wants to take advice on board. And we've got a great relationship. It's a very unique relationship. And obviously an English guy from... Yeah, he's got a manager from England as well. So, you know what I mean? It's a fantastic team we've got going there.
When will you get him back? Obviously, he's in Russia at the moment. When will you see him again in the gym?
Sorry, say that again, Danny.
I said he's back in Russia at the moment. But when will you have him back in the gym? When will you see him next?
Well, he'll come over to me 8 weeks before a fight because there's no point in coming any earlier because he's got a good coach back in Russia that he gels well with. He does all his... he's always in the gym. He's a fitness fanatic. He'll have a couple of weeks out now. He needs a bit of time out. It's been a long, hard schedule for him. He's had the odd week off here and there since March, but he's been all systems go because this fight could have happened way before. He wanted to keep himself right in case he got the call dropped on him. There was even talks of him fighting Yulushinov in November, last November. So kept himself right. So he needs a good rest. He'll be over 8 weeks before a fight. I think he's got one more fight in the contract with Matchroom, but I'm pretty sure if he wins that, it'll get renewed. And I think they've got 130 days to get him another fight now. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, he'll be back and look forward to it, even though it's very, very hard work.
I can imagine. You need to teach him how to use Zoom. That's the next thing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
it's the only thing he hasn't mastered.
can't believe I can use it, mate, because I'm absolutely shocking with social media. I don't know why it keeps going on to mute neither. That's another strange thing.
It's a harsh critic. Don't want to hear from either of us. No, it's good stuff, mate. I really appreciate it. Really happy for you.
Oh man,
I was gutted for Josh, but really happy for you, especially. I don't know David brilliantly, but I've known you ages. I'm really happy.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's tough for Josh, isn't it? I mean, it was an hard defeat. I'd have felt. I mean, it must be bad for Adam as well, because I'd have felt the same if I'd have got beat. There was an high pressured fight. There was a lot of media involved, especially being a pandemic. All eyes was on this fight. It was massive, and it was always going to be tough for the loser. But listen, we're grown men. We've all shook hands and we move on. And I wish Josh all the best. And let's hope he can rebound. We'll see. It'll either make or break him, this defeat.
Good stuff, mate. Yeah, congratulations again, and hopefully we'll catch up again soon.
Thank you, Danny. All the best, mate.
Take care, mate. See you soon.
Top man. Cheers, mate.